the scene in an average of 1 hour or less. Seato gets members home or back to boating faster. Become a member today at Seato.com or call 850-234-2323.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn Haven. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Rise and shine, campers. It's a brand new day.
What a lovely morning.
Good morning, starshine.
You seem happy this morning.
Morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub.
Hey! Hey!
I'm full of water. I stay hot tub.
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
Hot. Stay hot tub. Hot tub.
Hot tub, tub.
I'm gonna make it wet. Stay hot tub.
Tub.
Tub in the hot tub. Rubber tub with me. Stuck in the hot tub.
Yeah!
Really make me sweat.
Yeah!
Stuck in the hot tub.
Yeah!
Really make me wet.
Yeah! Well.
Man, we just broke the needles on the VU.
Hey, you know what? That'll wake you up first thing in the morning.
There you go.
You need it. You're tired. You're sore. You couldn't get out of bed this morning.
Cranky.
You get in the car, you're cranking. You listen to that, you start feeling better. It just wakes you up.
Then you find out Glenn's going to be here.
That's even better. That's icing on the cake.
He's coming down on me, too.
He's upset you didn't bring any food because
I
usually you
told
bring food.
I said food.
I know, but...
Especially the homemade
It's your
cornbread with the bacon and the...
You spoiled him, Glenn.
I know it, but...
You spoiled him.
My budget, you know what I'm saying? I'm living from paycheck to paycheck.
Now you sound like Coach.
Bidenomics.
Yes.
Right? You know what? Whatever happened to that kid that played the banjo in Deliverance? He became president of the United States.
No.
Unbelievable, man.
Hey, why I got your attention, our seventh year send-off, our giveaway that we're going to be doing a little bit later on. We're going to do it early because we're going to have Doc Ward at 7:30.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing that early. So sometime right around 7:15, we're going to give you a chance to be entered to win 4 tickets to Blue Jays Saturday, September 7th. Hotel, cash, food, beverages, amazing seating in the Xfinity Club. Like I said, 4 tickets. But just to get entered to the contest, you're going to win 2 tickets to Swampy Jack's, or 2 gift cards for Swampy Jack's, and we're going to do that about 7:15. So get ready for that. Be prepared for that.
Well, you know, how many other people?
Oh, and something else I just found out is that, like, if you're already entered into the contest to win the big prize, you can enter again. There's no limit on how many times you can
Write me down 12 times.
All right. What's that email address again?
I saw the 4 tickets in his pocket. Does that mean he's won? Anyway, but how many other stations give away NBA basketball games, baseball games every year?
Bags of swag,
food, drinks, restaurant cards, you name it. We do it right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Glenn Manley's with us today. Glenn, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Too bad that Randy won't send us to cover it, but you know.
He tried to get us to go to the NBA game, but there was something going on that weekend.
I went.
Yeah.
I did go.
All right.
Julie
oh, man, we were sitting in those seats, the box seats up there. And I mean, it was so cool. I mean, it's so nice.
Those guys are big guys, aren't they?
Treated like royalty. Yeah.
I thought when you said the NBA games, that was the National Backyard Association where they 3-on-3, but I didn't.
This was first class. I mean,
it is. Yeah, it always.
Well, anyway, we're getting rolling today. Dr. Ward will be calling us around 7:30, so at 7:15 again if you want to win. What's that phone number here? 215-6290.
Yeah, you
call here.
Very good.
And you can win, to get you registered to win 4 tickets to the Atlanta Braves baseball game, which I want to go. I really want to go over there and watch a game. I've never done that. I've always been everybody grows up liking the Braves. If you're in the South, especially back when I grew up, it was the Braves.
Right.
It was.
Before that, my grandmother used to listen to St. Louis Cardinals on the radio all the time. Yeah.
I've heard of them.
I used to sneak and go to the Cincinnati Reds games at Crosley Field.
Wow.
We used to park our bicycles on the guardrail on I-71, I think it is. I-71 and I-75, and we used to park our bicycles there and sit on the guardrail. And you could see about half of the field.
Johnny Bench.
The cops came.
Did you see
Bench,
Johnny?
Joe Morgan, Johnny Bench.
And the most famous one of all,
Pete Rose.
Yeah. Who was more famous, Johnny Bench or Pete Rose?
Pete Rose.
Well,
Pete Rose, I think so too.
Yeah.
But Johnny Bench was good.
Yep.
I remember those
they
guys.
all were good.
Who was I'll be honest, my hero growing up though was Hank Aaron. He was from Alabama, hitting home runs all the time.
I saw him. He played. Nashville had a Cincinnati Reds affiliate. I think it was AA, called the Nashville Vols.
Yeah.
And Milwaukee came through, and we got to go out and see him when he was a rookie. He hit one over.
Wow.
He hit one over the left field wall. About probably hit the Capitol up there somewhere. I don't know.
They got a stadium named after him, Mobile. He's from Mobile.
Yeah.
But he was something else.
They may count his home runs in the Negro League.
Really?
Yeah. So if they count
he'll
those,
be
he'll
number
move
one.
up. I don't know if he'll be number one, but he'll move back up. He may be number one. So
I don't even know who's number one now.
I think it's Barry Bonds. I don't know. I don't
Steroid Bonds.
I don't follow baseball as much since.
Well, remember, I'm just saying. Remember that was a big deal. Everybody's like, "He's on steroids."
Yeah.
As if nobody else was.
No, there was a lot. But the thing is, when Ted Turner and them moved, you had to start buying the games and all that. So it used to come on, and we used to watch all of them. But now, when you have to buy the package, I'm not a Yankees fan. I used to like some of the Yankees, but
I kind of like the Yankees.
I don't want to see Boston and things because that's not one of our teams. But I know they're trying to play to the population. But
the thing about the Yankees, though, they won, so you followed them.
Right.
I always like the winning team.
I remember Bill Mazeroski hitting the home run in 1960 to win the World Series, and his son Darren coached out here, so at Gulf Coast.
Steinbrenner, who was Steinbrenner?
Steinbrenner.
He was friends with Coach Bryant. They would come down, and one time one of the professional teams came down and did a scrimmage against Alabama's baseball team or something. Anyway, something was like that. But Brian knew those guys. I remember when I was a kid seeing pictures of those guys together. Mm-hmm. And anyway, we got to talk about this.
Speaking of money,
the root of all evil.
Your favorite subject.
NIL, high school, we told you about. And Glenn, just me in general, if you got a boost, we need to have the Booster Club presidents come on from the different high schools around here and spend. So if you're a Booster Club president, would like to come on the show in the morning, call us at 215-6290 and let us know. Let Wildcat know. We'll give you a 15-minute segment because we want to ask you this question. It's harder now to raise money than it used to be.
South Walton's coach made a good point yesterday about what if the high school person takes the money and then they choose to go to another high school.
That's legal.
Where does the money, he's saying the money should stay with the South Walton.
He said a lot of good things. But the bottom line is, no one goes to football games like they used to. It's just a matter of fact. We don't get the huge crowds anymore. We don't make the big time money anymore. And the Booster Clubs don't raise the type of money they used to raise. There's more competition. There's more schools. And I just don't think it's important to people anymore like it used to be. I saw down South Florida when I went back down there what it used to be and what it is now and what it was 13 years ago compared to back in the 80s and 90s, early 2000s. Are you willing to give your money to a Booster Club thinking you're helping buy all the kids food, all the kids uniforms, all the kids buses, or just a handful of players, the best players around, to get them to come to your school? I just don't see people here. I talked to one guy, I'm not going to mention his name, he's one of our big sponsors, big money. And he goes, I've been approached about this. I'm going to tell you who approached him or anything like that. It was about NIL. And he said, ain't going to happen. I'm not giving any money to get a kid to come play at a certain school. I'll give money to help all the kids at schools, but not one individual or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 kids. And you're not going to be able to, I just don't see maybe a handful of kids to get it, the best players. And then how does that affect the high school roster if they know, and at that age you're going to brag.
Oh, yeah.
You would think.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, they don't, I think it's wrong. I'm against it 100%. The NIL for high school players.
It's going to be tough to manage. They haven't got all the wrinkles. I hadn't seen any of the.
Our county AD is going to meet with the ADs. You ought to go to that. I mean, you were an AD all those years and get the details of that. It's just, I don't know, Glenn, Bay High School, do y'all have that type of money where you're going to play all your Booster Club money and they're given to the Booster Club? Do you want the same people to turn around and give to a certain individual player? I know we had a couple coaches on TV last night, and I don't think they're for it.
It's going to be, I don't know how you do that, but there's, Bay High School is the oldest high school in the county, and so you have a lot of old money and stuff, and then I don't know, there's still a lot of people that really love Bay High School, and so I just don't know how it's going to happen. I haven't been in on that, so I may have to get with the county AD and see what goes on.
But you love Bay.
I do.
You love Arnold. We open it up. I'm not going to give money to an individual player.
Well, the problem going with old money is eventually that goes away.
Yeah, but they
have to
pass it down to their kids who, a lot of them went to
But they usually fumble it.
No, the thing too is though, I'm like you. I'm going to give to a team. I'm not going to give to just one particular player. Now,
all that money we raised to help pay for buses and hotels and food. We're going to be calling, we need all you guys out there. Bay High School got a good player. He's at Jinx. We need all of you. Call in, go by Bay. Give them 100, give them 1,000. Give the money over to the Bay High School Athletic Football Department and make sure they give it to Sammy over there at Jinx to make sure he comes to Bay. I just don't think it's going to work.
If you just write it out to Coach Manley, I'll be sure it goes where it's supposed to go.
Write the checks to Manley. Give me the cash.
It wisely.
No, I don't know how you do that. I like the idea. You got to stay at your school, but who goes?
Let's go back to zones. Let's go back to zones. That way it makes everybody even playing field across the board.
Yeah, speaking of zones, this is way back when, like in 1975, when Mosley was starting out. Right in the middle of the Bay High Zone, they had one particular housing project that went to Mosley, and they got a lot of that.
Yeah, we told you about Lee County. I feel so bad. The minorities there, they all live in one area. Every little street was divided up, going to different schools. Those kids had to ride a bus. I can remember staying at practice, everybody else going home, staying with them till the bus got there. They were sometimes an hour late. After practice was over, they wouldn't get home to 8:30. And in the mornings, they had to get up before everybody else because the bus picked them up so early. And I was like, man, these kids, I felt bad for them. In summertime, the only way they get to come to your weightlifting if they provided their own transportation. So we would go get them. And if we'd ever had a wreck, we'd have lost everything we owned, but we hadn't got them every single day. We had 3 or 4 coaches go over there and get them.
You can't do that stuff these days, right?
Well, I don't think you could have done it back then. But no, nobody ever said anything about then. Now you can't transport them, you can't do anything. Things have changed. Everything's. You know what? You're going to get mad at me. Let's go back to neighborhood schools. You live in this neighborhood, that's where you go.
Yep.
Right.
Well, they got more of me. Well, you know what? Get a better job. Let your parents get a better job, make more money, and you can live over in that neighborhood.
Or fix your neighborhood.
Yeah. Go back to neighborhood schools. That's just me. But you know what? We can't do that now. Hell, we're letting everybody in. We're letting people out of prisons to come here, and we're going to straighten them out here in this country. Thanks to Joe Biden. They only murdered a girl up in Georgia and other people and selling drugs and sex trafficking. But we're going to save them.
Coach,
we're going to save them.
Coach. Cut that mic off.
Thank you, Glenn. You're about to get me to say
let's
something.
Save them.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You know what? At least the Indians fought us. I mean, at least the Indians would fight with bow and arrows.
I'm going to just say, you keep talking like that, I'm taking over tomorrow. You're not going to be here.
That's out.
It's your fault. You got me on it. Anyway, if anybody has an idea how we can handle NIL high school, give us a call because we sure don't know how to do it. We'll ask Dr. Ward. You know what's right? We'll ask Dr. Ward. You got kids coming up in high school athletics?
Is he giving out money to South Walton?
Yeah. Are you giving NIL money?
Backwards is problem solver.
I tell you what, baseball would be easy. You have less players, a lot less players. You can give NIL. Let's get Moss. Let's get the best players in Bay County on one team. Wow.
Does the 16-year-old kid get $500,000, or does his parents?
I don't know.
Does his parents?
No, what you're going to see, seriously, we got to take a break, but what you're really going to see is like we've seen certain schools had a kid move in from Hawaii to the great state of Alabama. There's just more opportunities in Alabama for his family to come move and live.
How about if you're having Air Force Base right by your school, so you can.
That kind of helps out too.
Yeah,
but we've had kids in California move to high schools to play ball to make sure they go to certain universities. So that's the ones where you're going to see NI with those guys.
We need to call Coach Probst and see how you do that because he knows exactly how.
Don't mention anybody's name. That was Glenn Manley.
No, everybody knows who Coach Probst is. You got the guy from California coming to your school, so.
Yeah. All right, we'll be right back. Let's talk about some of our great people. Charlie Corn's place on 15th Street. You want some good food? You want some country cooking? You get out to Charlie Corn's place. They got daily specials, but I love the weekend specials. Friday night, fried fish, baked beans, cheese grits, French fries, roller tea. Then on Saturday, fried or grilled for shrimp. And also Sunday, the big one, Glenn's favorite, fried chicken, mashed potatoes, green beans, cream corn, roll and tea at the legendary Charlie Corn's restaurant. The new location is on 15th Street. The facility is beautiful. They got the manly room in the back. Seats about 25 people. So if you want to have a private birthday party or something like that, you can do so. Today's Wednesday. That means it's world famous J. Michael Spaghetti. Glenn, I went down there yesterday. You couldn't move. That place was packed out. I mean, they're doing really well. Yeah. Everybody comes down here. It's a legendary place. People hear it. They want to come and see the place, the facility, eat there. It's incredible. Shotguns hanging down from the wall, boats.
That's a taste you don't pay.
You got everything at J. Michael's restaurant. Go try it today. World famous J. Michael Spaghetti and Beef Row Brady's in Lynn Haven. You're over in Lynn Haven. Make sure you are over there. Beef Row Brady's Lynn Haven today. 10 wings inside for $9.99. Go check it out. Stevenson Air Conditioning #1, El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. And I got to talk about South Oak Tile and Closing before. I know you're wanting to get going, but I'm going to hold you up because of Stevenson and because of South Oak Title and Closing.
That's a good reason.
30A, big time money.
Yep.
Big time money. Huge deals. They all go. They all use Chuck Tucker and South Oak Title and Closing. No surprises. You see it on TV this morning, the average house, what it costs when a certain guy was in office, what it costs now for the new guy. Yeah. Banjo players are dangerous, man. I'm telling you. They grow up to be dangerous. What do you got for us, Wildcat?
All right. It's write this number down, 215-6290. Be caller number 5. You will get yourself entered into a chance to win tickets to the Blue Jays. And Saturday the 7th, you'll get hotel, spending cash, food, beverage, seating in the Xfinity Club, 4 tickets. And all you have to do is be caller number 5. You'll get entered to win that. But just for being entered to win that, you will get 2 tickets to Swampy Jack's. 2 gift
Call
cards.
us now.
Call us right now. And the phones are ringing.
215-6290. Give us a call right now as we sit on our butts. Be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida, your home for Mike Greenberg.
When people ask me what separated Michael from all the others, he wasn't the greatest athlete in the history of the NBA. He wasn't the greatest shooter. People always talk about how he was the most competitive person. Everyone in that league is competitive, and there are plenty of other guys just as competitive as he was. What separated Michael was an unyielding, unwavering belief in himself.
Greeny. Weekdays on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Wednesday. Sunny with a gentle breeze at 11 miles per hour coming out of the south-southwest and temps near 84. Tonight we will have partly cloudy skies and a wind speed of 8 miles per hour and be warm at 79. Partly cloudy and possible thunderstorms tomorrow and a high 83. Sunshine Friday with a temp of 88. Saturday the high will reach 86 with sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
He has a really low passenger rating on Uber. He punched a magician and started a petition to remove the penny from circulation.
Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael studio.
Is he sane? I have no idea.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
All right. Bum, 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 bum. But we hope you have a great day today. We hope you win our 4 tickets to Atlanta.
We got a winner on the phone.
We got a winner of our little contest right now. Let's bring him on. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Who is this?
This is Paul Ritchie.
Hey, Paul.
Oh, hey, man, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Coach Manley. How you doing?
I guess you know this guy, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you go to Bay?
Yeah, he was a fabulous soccer player and
All
a
right.
coach there. So, anyway.
Well, let's ask him a question. If you got money, like manly money, and you got a school you support, the Booster Club or whatever, are you willing to give more money, or just going to tell them, hey, here's some money for the Booster Club, or do you want to give money to a great player that's at another place that you want him to come to Bay County and you want to pay him to come play for Bay High School in any sport? What do you think about this NIL for high school? Are you willing to pay money to pay players, or would you rather give the money just to the Booster Club where everybody gets a part of it?
I'd rather just give it to the Booster Club because, of course, I mean, going to school in the 90s here in Bay County, pretty much had to have parents or yourself go out there, sell ads and things of that nature. Of course, we didn't have the charter buses like they do these days. We had to ride the old cheese wagon from place to place. So I'd rather give it to the Booster Club and support every sport instead of just one player.
There you go.
Yep.
You're like us. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I don't think NIL in Bay County is going to be a big deal. I just don't see people doing it. Do you? Do you really think they're going to be individuals that are going to pay money for a kid to come play for a school?
I don't think so. I mean, I honestly don't. I mean, like I said, I think with the talent that we have here and the coaches that we have here right now and the after-hour or the after programs that they do throughout the summer and everything else like that, I think kids are going to stay where they're at. And no need to get anybody from the outside.
All right, I got to ask you, what's your favorite college football team?
Florida State.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
So we
Good.
raised him right.
Good.
So
You did, Glenn. Did a good job. What do you think? Do they get in this year with 12 teams? Do they get in? They only won 13 last year. They were just qualified for winning 13. Do you think they'll get in this year?
Yeah, I hope they get in this year. I mean, I hope Norvell puts the season together like he did last year. So, I mean, we'll have to see when the games start getting played.
I think they're going to be pretty good. They're not getting a lot of love, a lot on most of these polls. I think that has a lot to do with the last game they saw them play. Yeah. I really do. I think that people in their head going, oh, they got killed. They losing all these guys. People got drafted. He said this is the fastest, biggest team he's had. So I think he knows what he's talking about. I think they're going to be good. How good?
Oh, yeah. I believe they will be. I mean, like I said, every year, you got to think the first couple of years he was there, it didn't work out. And then, of course, now he's turned the team around. So I believe we have a good shot to get back to where we were in the 90s.
How do you feel about the quarterback? I don't. That's the one question mark we have. How well he plays, and I don't know. I really don't know. What do you think? Have you heard anything about the quarterback over there?
No, not much. Like I said, he's traveled around a little bit. Clemson, then, of course, I can't remember where he's at last year. Now he's at Florida State. So, maybe with a good coach, then, of course, he'll actually succeed. Not saying that Dabo was bad or anything like that, but maybe a different environment, better coach. Maybe he'll excel.
I can't remember where he came. He went out
Oregon
west.
State.
Oregon State. That's right.
Yeah, the other thing too is that I think he's surrounded with more talent than he was at Clemson. So
and Oregon State. No doubt. Well, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it. Glenn loves you.
I do.
Glenn's little tail started wagging when you said your name. I had to pet him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I used to. When he was,
I see him around all the time.
Yeah, when I was coaching,
he never forgets anybody.
Well, sometimes I do, but especially when the tax guy comes around, I forget who I am, but I used to put terror in those guys. I'd come down there and they'd see me coming, and they're like, "Uh-oh."
Oh my God! Hey, was he a pretty good player?
Yeah, fantastic.
All right.
So
did he kick for high school? Or just kick?
No, he was just soccer. I couldn't get him out there in the Wild Blue Yonder. I think I forgot who was kicking that year. It may have been Fleming or somebody. I forgot. So
yeah, because before the first year I was there, you had Jason Dye, then you had Fleming, and then of course I remember a 7th period football class where we practiced on punting with you out there at the field out.
Right.
Whoa, time out. Was that during school hours?
Yeah.
Of course, 7th period.
Okay, I'm glad you told me that.
Yeah.
Hey, write that down. Record this.
Yeah, but hey, it was my class.
I've got it.
Yeah.
Football practice.
Was I still punting? Was I still punting then?
We did the same thing. Yeah. We did the same thing.
Oh yeah.
As far as you know.
Did I go out and punt?
Still punting.
I would go out there and punt with you guys.
He can still kick.
yeah.
He can still kick. It's amazing. Did you realize how many songs he wrote back in the 70s? It's amazing. You listen to our show, you'll hear some of these music. Glenn actually wrote those. When he was in Vietnam at night, he'd look up at the sky and write things down in his notebook. He kept it. He showed me that stuff. He kept it when he got back in the country, got into coaching, but he always had a knack for that. He was sending his music to these publishing places. Some of them got picked up. Some are under different names.
Most
that's
were love songs. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of.
Yeah, I wrote a lot of stuff down.
A lot of that Pink Floyd stuff he did. Comfortably Numb.
Purple Haze.
Yeah. Anyway. Hey, thank you so much for calling. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. I was about to say, he really didn't mention that when he was teaching us how to punt about all the songs.
Well, I was singing some of them. Y'all just didn't know what they were. So.
I heard he had good language over there. He spoke well.
Oh, yes, very well.
Hey, thank you, man. We appreciate it. Did you tell him what he's got to do to get his tickets? I hope you win those. I hope you win those 4 tickets for that baseball game.
Yeah. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate you, man.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah,
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Have a great morning.
All right. You too.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Paul. That's awesome, man. I like when people call me like that. It
doesn't
matter who. It doesn't matter.
Swampy Jacks too.
It doesn't matter when they call in. They all know Glenn. I mean, it's
well,
weird.
that's because you put me in the newspaper a couple of times.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you. And thank you. Anyway, I got to get this in today. This is something I kind of worry about my buddy Tommy Santamont. He's hiking and looked up. But before I get in that, I don't know if we have enough time to get it all in today. We're running short of time right now. Maybe later we'll get into it. But the 2024 Florida Everglades, where they sent everybody down to kill the big snakes, pythons, the pythons. We had a guy, the swamp people, he was on our show. This is back when we were, about 4 or 5 years ago. He came on the show. Great guy. Love him. He talked that, Cajun talk. He was down here selling seafood or doing something. Some business thing. And he came on the show, did a great job, and they catch gators. They're actually down there now. They've been down there now filming, catching these big snakes. I don't know if you saw it on TV. I watched it one episode, and they do a good job catching snakes, gators, you name it, they're doing it. Well, they're having people sign up now. It's going to start August 9th and runs through August 18th. And you've got 2 categories. If you catch the biggest snake, heaviest, longest, biggest, kind of like Glenn, $25,000. Now, the other award is for the most snakes. And I'm telling you right now, I hope they kill every damn one of them.
That's a pretty good cash prize.
No, you will never get them out of there. We'll never get them out of there. They're everywhere. You can walk by them and won't even see them.
Well, we could always turn some monitored lizards loose on them.
We should take them to the border, the gators, and put them out there. But anyway, we'll keep you informed of this when this starts in August. And if you're interested in all about doing this, you can go sign up for it. And I'm thinking, if I'm not here, I might look at this. I might be looking into this.
Spiders,
I think I could wrestle one of these things.
Let's take my truck and go.
Yeah, for a couple of breaths, you can wrestle one.
Well, the reason they won't they kill everything.
Right.
I mean, they're screwing everything up down there. There's species going away because of these things. They kill gators. They can kill anything. They had nearly 1,000 of them have been removed since 2023. Of all of them down there since 2023, they've only removed and captured and killed 1,000. So that's not very many compared to there. And the other thing I'm really concerned about, Tommy, he was going to go, and I hate this, I told him, Tommy, you better not, and you were out there, Glenn, you know what I'm talking about. They're going to do a lot of hiking out in the wilderness. I'm talking in Yellowstone. And I said, put some bells on your shoes. If all you're going to go out to Yellowstone or Montana, places like that, they tell you to tie these little bells on your string of your shoes because it makes noise. If a bear, they got cubs, they'll run away. And if you walk up on one, you're gone. It's that simple. You're out of there. So
they didn't tell you the part about the little sparkly things on your ankles attracts rattler snakes. So.
Well, do you want to get bit by a snake or get eaten by a bear?
I want to get eaten by a bear.
Yeah, okay. Well, I was going to tell Tommy this. The biggest Yellowstone bear, they think, was over 1,200 pounds. And that's pretty big. Big Joe in 2018, Big Joe was killed. He weighed 600 pounds. He looked like a tank at 600 pounds. He killed cattle. And the reason they had to get rid of him, he was killing cattle. and they got him. There was another one they estimated to weigh 800 pounds that was killing a big, huge elk. He was bear number 791. Evidently, they number them out there and kind of keep up with this stuff. So these guys out there, Montana, Wyoming, there's some big bears.
Sure you don't run up on the grizzlies.
We ain't talking about Yogi now.
Yeah, we're talking about if you work on some grizzlies too, but when we're out there, you make sure if you talk a lot, that makes noise. Make noise. And so, the only thing we ever ran into was I walked over the hill one time and there looked like a buffalo the size of a pickup truck came walking down the trail. I got off the trail and everybody was going, "Where are you going?" And I was just pointing. And when he came over the ridge, they were like, "Ooh!" So we got off the trail. No, the buffalo.
And those bears kill them like they're nothing.
Well, some of them they can't because those big. There's some big ones.
Some of them are big enough to defend themselves quite well.
I got my money on the bear. I'm sorry.
I understand, but we got.
Well, I didn't mind when I was out there with Glenn. I never was scared about it because I knew who was faster. I knew who was going to go first. Right. Depending on how hungry the bear was, I wasn't worried about it. Yeah. I was going to push him and then run. You didn't know that, did you?
No, I didn't know that. No.
All right, we got to go. We got to take a break. Let's talk about some of our great people. And appreciate you listening. Appreciate you winning that gift. And we're going to, next month we're going to start. Well, this month we'll start giving away a lot more restaurant cards and things like that.
And also some more Atlanta Braves baseball games.
Keep it rolling, baby.
Just not the big prize that we're giving away in a couple weeks.
If you get injured, you go see Dr. Chad Mitchell, a legendary doctor here in Bay County. This will be his 25th year on Bay County sidelines. The guy is incredible. Call, make an appointment. Chad will be there for you. You can listen to him every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida with Glenn Manley. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill on Thomas Drive, right across the street from the Navy base. Happy hour is like no other. You buy one, the next one's free. We're talking about draft beer, margaritas, house wine. The food's incredible. They have daily specials. And the atmosphere is unbelievable. Everybody I know are having birthday parties down there because the facility's so big. And on Thursday night, they have karaoke, and it's fun. We have a great time down there. Head out to El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, have a great Mexican meal, and some great drinks on Glen. Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road. You love barbecue, that's the only place to go. I saw our superintendent, and he is super. Mark McQueen is unbelievable. We need to keep him in there for a long, long time. It's 2-star retired general, did an incredible job speaking at Rudy's restaurant Tuesday night, did a great job. I was really impressed with the man. But Rudy's Barbecue, I had the turkey sandwich, Glenn, outstanding. Julie got the pork. Everybody had a good time. Everybody's talking about the food. Wonderful people down at Rudy's. Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road. You can't miss it. Huge big old sign says Rudy. Good looking people there. Good looking pictures in there. We'll be right. You didn't take the hint.
I took the hint. I just don't want to say anything on the public air.
Yeah, somebody said, I heard what you said in the restaurant one day. How can I eat with that damn thing? We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Every 22 minutes now, scientists is picking up an unknown signal from space. Have you heard about that?
A little bit. Tell us more.
I think it's aliens saying that Augie from Louisiana is a complete dumbass. I think that's what they're saying. Every 22 minutes.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hello, this is Rick Vossen with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer, located at 2241 East Baldwin Road. Shopping for a garage, portable building, cabin? We build them anywhere from 8 to 16 foot wide, 10 feet to 60 feet long. We can do insulation, electricity, transom dormers, thermal windows. Come, let's customize a building together. Rick Vossen, Stormore Portable Building Dealer, Panama City.
Discover the new Kia during the Summer Sticker Sales event going on now at Billburn Kia. Our SUV family is built for all-in adventures and endless possibilities. Whether you're traveling on the highways or off-road, you'll do it with grace and grit. Now offering 1.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or a new 2024 Kia Sportage. You get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Billburn Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. Now enjoy the view this summer because the road is yours in a brand new Kia from Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or new 2024 Kia Sportage with $2,165 per month per 1,000 financed and 48 month. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 7/8/24.
He's a beacon of light to many and an inspiration to all.
These men need inspiration.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels studio.
They're motivated by Vicodin and Road Skank.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN North. I just like that music. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. It's Wednesday, 7:30. You know who's there. People always question what he says at J. Michael's restaurant. Some love him. Some are FSU fans, and they question some things he says. But anyway, we got him on right now. One of my favorite doctors, my doctor, Dr. Ward. Doc, how you doing this morning?
Having a great one. How about you guys?
Hey, it couldn't be better. We were on the right side. We got up this morning. That's a good thing. Hey, Doc, I'm one of them. I felt something didn't look right, didn't feel right. I went in there within 5 minutes. You knew what it was. You sent it off. I'm going back in to see you on the 12th and get it taken care of. What's the best way for everybody out there listening in Northwest Florida to get up with you? Because 1 in 5 develop skin cancer, and it can be deadly. But if you catch it early, you're going to be okay. Give us what we need to know about getting up with you.
That's right. Give us a holler at 233-3376. Like you said, we can get you in within a week or so. Get you looked at head to toe. About 5 total minutes to do a complete skin exam and make sure your skin is healthy and cancer-free. You can see us at Panama City Beach, Port St. Joe, Water Sound, Santa Rosa Beach, Defuniak Springs, Bonifay, or Mariana.
Do you realize every time you do that, Glenn and when Brian's here, they always count to make sure they think you're going to screw up? I say he's a Gator. He went to Florida. He's highly intelligent.
No, I just make sure sometimes he goes in different order, so he tries to fool us. So.
There you go. All right, we got to ask you now. You're coaching these youth league, and by the way, I don't know who did those pictures for your team, and I see them, and I shared one the other day on Facebook. That's pretty cool what you did with that. I like that. But NIL now is in high school in the state of Florida. It is legal. We were talking about this morning. I don't think it's going to be a big deal here in Bay County because we just don't get the crowds. We don't get the support we once did, and we don't have a big, huge booster clubs making all this big-time money like we once had. So I don't think, and we had one of your former players called and won an award this morning, and he said he'll give money to a booster club, making sure that is divided up by everybody will benefit from it, like in buses, food, uniforms, things like that. He's against playing one individual kid money just to come play football there. I think the coaches are against it, but I want to talk to you about it. I had one of our big boosters, or one of our big sponsors, very successful man, and he had already been approached by it, and he told me about it, and he goes, I made sure they understood I will not give a penny for NIL for a high school player to come play here, pay him anyway, but I will give money that benefits the entire team. So I'm asking you, Doc, you're a coach, do you like NIL for high school athletics? And what's your point? You've given money before. What's your stance on it? And you might be for it. That's okay if you are, but give us your opinion.
So my opinion on NIL in high school is that a form of NIL in high school athletics has existed for years, and it's existed in the way that these private schools can basically give scholarships to athletic players. So, when you look at the teams, some of the teams that almost always make the baseball championships, and you see, Bishop Kenny and Cardinal Newman and all these private schools that are clearly playing above what their enrollment is, that's been a form of allowable NIL and or player benefits that public schools don't have. So, I actually see it as a little bit of a benefit to public schools if they can get their booster clubs organized, get the sponsorships organized in the right way. And I do agree that you should be using it to the benefit of the team because, these are all team sports. But, when it comes down to, maybe getting a few key players that you need some pieces to make your team, go from being pretty good to really good, I think it actually gives public schools with good booster clubs the ability to compete with these private schools that they've had difficulty competing with in the past.
You mentioned these private schools. The first thing I started when you were talking, I was thinking about St. Thomas Aquinas down in the South Florida, and then Jacksonville Bowls over here. And I remember, and they're, like you said, they had housing. Some of these private schools, you actually house them, and they do get scholarships, and they do get a load of players at these schools. It's like an all-star football team, all-star baseball team, and whatever that school's good in, they're going to make sure they're really good in it. And we had a coach that was hired somewhere around here, and he was from St. Thomas Aquinas at one time, and everybody's going, "Oh my God, this is unbelievable." I don't think he won a game. I mean, they get so much, these coaches at these, and I liked the guy at Jacksonville, I did, but he coached at Jacksonville Bowl. He was a good coach, no doubt about that. But if you're at a school like that, you're going to win. When you got NFL type players playing high school, and those guys one day will be playing in the NFL. Some of their dads went to those schools, say Thomas Aquinas. I don't care who's coaching down there. You're going to win every game because you just got more talent than when you line up on the field. It's unbelievable, like Doc's talking about in baseball. You look at all the baseball state championship teams, most of them are private schools. So you're right about that. But let me make sure I get this right. So you're okay. You would give, if a coach came to you and he goes, "Hey, we got a kid, Joe Blow, lives over in Montgomery, Alabama. If we get an NIL deal, he'll come here and play at so-and-so school." So you'd be okay going, "Okay, I'll give $10,000 for that." You're okay with that?
Let's just put yourself in parent shoes, and if you have the ability to do that, and the coach of your kid's team says, "Hey, if you'll up your sponsorship, we're going to have an ace pitcher who's agreed to come." Yeah, why not?
Okay. Well, hey, you know what? I respect that.
Yep.
Good. Is it also because you know your son's going to be pretty good?
Or you can sponsor your own son.
Yeah, that's right. He'll be sponsored. Yeah, that's true. Seriously, that team you're on right now, the team you're coaching, you can kind of tell what kind of ability they have. Do you think you got some good, really kids that are on that team right now? They got a chance to be really good high school baseball players.
Well, I think we got a couple of kids that will be really good. It's hard to know for sure right now because none of them have hit puberty. So you can see athletic ability, but you don't know what.
Yeah.
Final height, weight, all that. That makes a difference.
Yeah, and you don't know too, because I've seen some great ones in the past where it just didn't matter as much, and where I've seen great players that had the ability to go play at the next level. But the academics didn't matter as much. The commitment to being to practice and doing the things you need to do, it just wasn't there. And most of those guys wind up getting in trouble. So, yeah, I'm with you on that. All right, I want to switch gears with you. I want to ask you a question about this, see if you think they got it right. This is the NCAA Super Regional Probabilities. This is what they believe is going to happen. Ellisville at Tennessee. Tennessee odd makers, 83.78% they're going to go on and win. You agree with that? Tennessee wins that one?
I think it's greater. I would put, there are two teams that should go ahead and make their reservations right now for Omaha, and that's Tennessee Volunteers and Florida State Seminoles. They are, I cannot see them not winning two straight games against Evansville and UConn. I think you book those two teams right now in Omaha.
Okay, I heard Florida State. What was the other school?
Tennessee.
Okay, yeah, okay, you're right. You're right. All right. Tennessee was 83.7% going to win. UConn at Florida State, they only have Florida State at 66.8% by the bookies. But I'm with you. I agree. All right, what about this one? Kansas State at Virginia. Virginia's 73.8% to go on. Higher than Florida State over UConn. Hey, Doc, hold your thoughts right there. We got to take a break. One more time, Doc. Skin cancer can be deadly. How do we get up with you?
You give us a call at 233-3376. We'll see you at one of our 8 area convenient locations in Port St. Joe, Panama City Beach, Watersound, Santa Rosa Beach, Mariana, Bonifay, or Defuniak Springs.
Do you want to look better, feel better? Max Fit Sports Nutrition can make it happen for you. They got 2 great locations, 23rd Street and at Pier Park. Get out there and visit with Jason Kovaleski. If you got a son of dollars involved in sports at any age, go visit him. He will guide you and coach you what to eat, what not to eat, when to start lifting, and what to lift, and how to lift. The guy's incredible. You can listen to him here right here twice a week on ESPN Northwest Florida, 104.3. And also, don't forget about newbies. John and Charlotte always giving back to the community. Charlotte gave a huge amount of money to the university. Wonderful lady. She's going to have the best bands there every Friday and Saturday night. People come here from all over the Southeast, and they always wind up at Newbies because they get it when they were kids. The legendary Newbies. Newbies 2 on the Curve. Go watch all these baseball games that was going on, softball World Series, everything at Newbies 2. We'll be right back. 104.3 with the legendary Dr. Ward. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
For 7 years, ESPN Northwest Florida has been your destination on the Panhandle for the Atlanta Braves.
He just blew the doors off that thing.
But our listeners are the real MVP.
Another dominating performance.
So this year, we're giving away more tickets to Truist Park than ever before. Keep listening to win family 4-packs to experience the Atlanta Braves. From ESPN Northwest Florida, PCB Hobby, Pepsi, Fairfield, Hampton Inn on Thomas, and Home 2 Suites.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Wednesday. Sunny with a gentle breeze at 11 miles per hour coming out of the south-southwest and temps near 84. Tonight we will have partly cloudy skies and a wind speed of 8 miles per hour and be warm at 79. Partly cloudy and possible thunderstorms tomorrow and a high 83. Sunshine Friday with a temp of 88. Saturday the high will reach 86 with sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Discover the most convenient way to buy men's clothing. Pierce Bespoke. Whether it's custom or casual, they come to you to take the hassle out of shopping. If buying off the rack doesn't work for you, let Pierce Bespoke show you how to get the perfect fit. Call Pierce Bespoke to schedule your appointment. 251-278-8270. That's 251-278-8270.
Hey there, business owners. Do you feel lost in a sea of numbers, struggling to navigate your day-to-day accounting? At Lighthouse CPAs, they specialize in guiding businesses to make more money and keep more of what you make. From bookkeeping to tax planning, they've got you covered. Plus, with their user-friendly software, managing your finances has never been easier. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Call Lighthouse CPAs 850-785-5254.
If your neighbor, employer, or grandmother were traumatized by comments made on the Coach James Hale Show.
One thing people aren't saying a whole lot about, and I'll probably get in trouble,
but just wanted to take this moment to say, get bent. We're live from the J. Michael Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Yeah. Woo! And we are back. Good song right there. I don't care. We're back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Dr. Ward's on the phone with us right now. All right, Doc, go back. Kansas State at Virginia. What do you think? 73.8%. Odd Mayor's got Virginia advancing. What do you think?
Yeah, I was really impressed with Virginia beating Mississippi State twice. I thought that Mississippi State was a really good SEC team. I'd picked Mississippi State to win that regional, so Virginia really impressed me. So yeah, I think Virginia at 73%, pretty solid.
And when this next one, we saw a great LSU, North Carolina. That was some good baseball right there. But West Virginia at North Carolina. North Carolina, 70.56% to win the game. What do you think to win the series?
Same thing, man. North Carolina really impressed me. I thought LSU was one of the hottest teams in the country, and to shut them down. I tell you, man, ACC's got incredible pitching. They really, really do.
All right, Oregon State, 53.1% over, and they're at Kentucky, but they got Oregon State coming out of that region. What do you think about that one?
No, Kentucky's gonna take it. I can see it going 3 games, but Kentucky can score runs, and I know Oregon State can as well. But just Kentucky battle tested through the SEC. Wasn't that impressed with what I saw from Pac-10 teams or Pac-12, whatever that they go by now.
Pac-2.
Pac-2, yeah. I'm with you. I think Kentucky's going to win it too. NC State at Georgia. Georgia's favored 67.3% to go on. NC State, Georgia. Who do you like?
I think that's probably. I think that and the Clemson Regional are going to be the most competitive. The SEC-ACC matchups. Really, you flip a coin there. I think probably they're giving Georgia too much credit. Florida won their series in Athens, so I could easily see this one going either way.
All right, this one, and I think they're really good. Clemson, Florida at Clemson. Clemson 69.2% to go on. What do you think? The Gators, can they get enough pitching to get it done or not?
Florida is undervalued in that for sure, just based off of what they've been doing lately, and then how they were able to beat a very good offensive Oklahoma State team and hold them to 4 runs in 2 games. I think that's a coin toss as well. Clemson and Florida, it's going to be good, and if the pitching can hold up. Which the big difference in Florida now is they got Liam Peterson back. He was injured. They got him back. I think it was the Georgia series they got him back for, and he's been pitching really well. So now you actually have a solid starting rotation. They're able to move Brandon Neely out of the starting rotation back to the closing rotation, and he's probably one of the best closers in America. So being able to do what you need to do with your pitching staff by overcoming injury, and then you think with Florida, you think Ty Evans breaks his thumb. You're like, oh no, what's going to happen? We just pull up this kid Ashton Wilson, and he was the regional MVP. And he only started like 4 games in the regular season. So I really like where Florida's at right now, but Clemson is good. It's going to be one of those. I think Florida, Clemson, and North Carolina State, Georgia are toss-ups. Okay.
All right. The last one, I got a couple questions about this tournament here. Oregon is at Texas. Texas A&M. 74% Texas A&M goes on.
Yeah, A&M can book their tickets to Omaha as well.
Okay. All right, my question to you is, you coached it. You know it. I'd never coached baseball. Florida did it. They beat Oklahoma State at Oklahoma State. How big advantage is it to playing at home in these super region games in baseball? I know in football, the crowds are so huge. Basketball is really big. But how big is it in baseball? Is it as big as basketball and football, having the home, being at home? Talk about that.
You would think so, but I mean, just look at a team like Arkansas. They're a really, really good team. They hosted the regional. They lost. You kind of look across the board, and I think at the end of the day, it's who shows up that day, and I think talent travels in baseball in particular. So, I think the home teams are favored primarily because they're better. That's why they got the higher rank. So I think it makes a a minor difference in a close game. But once you get ahead by a few runs, the crowd gets awful quiet.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about softball, Doc. I watched that game last night, and you know what? I actually was pulling for Florida, believe it or not, because Oklahoma's got a great team, but sometimes a little shenanigans going on there. But man, I felt so sorry for that pitcher that the home run hit right there at the end. But she did a great job. She pitched both those games against Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yeah, Florida put on a nice little run at the end, broke their 20-game win streak, couldn't quite finish it out, and that's how baseball and softball are. You got to get the key hits at the key moments, and Oklahoma just made one more than Florida.
Yeah,
I was watching that game. You just had a feeling. You just kind of felt it was coming. With Oklahoma. They were going to do it.
They got some tremendous hitters. I thought Florida did a good job of hitting their pitching. So So
I couldn't remember. Was that the first batter in the eighth inning? They went into the eighth inning.
I think it may have been the second batter.
Yeah. She crushed it. I mean, she did. Yeah. But Oklahoma, they're going to play Texas for the national championship.
Number 1 and number 2.
Texas have beat them before this year, so we'll see. We'll see. All right, Doc.
You got to remember. I do think home field advantage matters more in softball than baseball, and that's why one of the reasons it's kind of unfair. They always play in Oklahoma, so I'd put my money on Oklahoma over Texas.
Right. Yeah. 40 miles from your campus, that's not bad.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, they do a great job out there. Everybody talks really highly about it. That's like Hoover. Keep it that sucker in Hoover. Doc, we got to go next year now. You're going to have to get somebody to cover your team. When Oklahoma and Texas roll up in there, I want to watch those guys play some baseball. But I want to ask you this, though.
They may not even make the tournament, man.
No. Next year, you hear, they're going to let everybody, single elimination, everybody will be there. Every single team.
Everybody.
16.
Okay,
yes.
Well, and guess what? It'll still be overrun with LSU fans.
That is a fact.
You heard it here first.
Can you imagine, though? Because I was in Tuscaloosa when Texas came in there and played Alabama. Doc, those people have money. And they were Texas people everywhere. People were selling their tickets because they were making so much money off them. And all those, I talked to a couple of them, they all wanted to come to Tuscaloosa. They wanted to visit the Bear Bryant Museum, and they wanted to see that stadium because they'd never been there before. Can you imagine how many people are going to be in Hoover when every team in the league's going to be there? That's going to be really great for the city of Hoover, and I can't wait. But I want to ask you this before we get you off. Were you surprised, all year long, the rankings, the SEC dominated. You had all these teams ranked, and look at Arkansas. Look what Mississippi State. Are you surprised about how we've done so far?
No, 5 teams in the Super Regional is. I think that matches the record that the SEC has had. I was surprised at the ACC. Hats off to them putting 5 teams in. I thought ACC played really good baseball.
Yeah, they did. How much time we got? We got to go. All right, Doc. Anything else you want to talk about real quick? Are you through with baseball right now? Are the kids off right now?
No, we are playing this weekend. It's a 4-day tournament, Friday through Monday. It's the AA World Series. Teams from all over the Southeast coming to Frank Brown Park and Publix Park. It's going to be a lot of baseball. Anybody that wants to come check out some of the best youth baseball in the Southeast will have a chance to check it out. So skills competition starts Thursday night, games Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and we'll be there.
Give us some names of some of your players. Who's playing well right now?
Among our best players, our shortstop, Avery Hollingsworth, our third baseman, Bryson Register, first base and pitcher, Gavin Gray. My son's hitting really well, Jackson Ward. He's doing good. And Desmond Torres, our center fielder. Man, don't even think about hitting the ball towards center field because it ain't going to drop.
I love it. Tell those kids they can go back and watch us on Facebook and hear their coach talk about them.
Absolutely. I'll let them know and share it on our team Facebook page.
All right, Doc. Thanks for coming on. I'll see you the 12th, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday, okay?
All right. Sounds good, guys.
Bye-bye. Have a good day. Dr. Ward,
Yes,
1 in 5 develop skin cancer, doesn't look right, feel right. Don't put it off. Go see him. The guy's incredible. He really is the best. Does a great job. I like when he sees me. All right, Glenn, let's talk about some of our great people. One of your favorite places, Paparazzi Gourmet.
Oh, yeah.
Paparazzi Pizza's unbelievable. They got the best bakery I've ever seen. The pizza's incredible. I went there last night late. I was going to get... I did get it. But that place, there were so many people in there. It was like almost 8 o'clock. I mean, they're doing really well right now. People know about them. They go there. Great. And John's a retired police officer. For that reason alone, you should pack the place out. I love that, man. Get down to Paparazzi, have a great meal, have a great pizza. Now, you can get a lunch. Go into lunch, take you and your wife or your friend, and you get 2 slices and 1 drink for $11 and some change. That's all you need. You can buy another drink, and that's it. The slices of the pizzas are so big, that's all you need is 1 piece.
Right.
But they give you 2. Great deal at Paparazzi. Also, don't forget about Turpro Pest Control. You want your yard to look beautiful? Call Patrick. His crew will come out. They'll look at everything, tell you what they're going to do. They do it, and the yard looks beautiful. They do a great job. No toe, I don't go. See toe, I go. No toe, I don't go.
Be a Gilligan.
No, I'm telling you, it ain't worth it. You get out there, it's deadly out there. You got to be careful.
And all you got to do to protect yourself is go to Ceto.com. Or you can call Brandon here locally at 850-234-2323. They have several plans for you to choose from.
Go Brandon.
They're locally, and their captains are all certified, bona fide, certified, get you home safely kind of guys.
And if you want some jewelry, where are you going to go?
You're going to go to 830 Ohio Avenue. That's Highway 77.
Where did I go?
To David Adamson Design and Fine Jewelry. They repair jewelry, drop it off, go have lunch somewhere, take in the sights. They're over in beautiful Lynn Haven. Maybe go to the little park over there. When you're done, you're finished, you come back, you pick it up. It's all nice and shiny, fixed and ready to go. David Adamson, Fine Jewelry and Design.
They do a great. Tell Russ we said hello. Tell David we have said hello. And there's a necklace I want to get for some special person.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So sweet. There's a necklace I'd like to get for you, too.
Thank you. You are sweet. I was thinking about my granddaughters.
I need a new belly ring.
And a chain with a big...
Oh, my God. We'll be right back with the Alabama update. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
America's team plays here.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's number 10.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Charlie Morton, Max Fried, and Chris Sale lead the Braves' dominant pitching rotation.
That's 18 up, 18 down.
Sponsored by Panama City Toyota, LS Agency Insurance, Bestway Portable Buildings, PCB Hobby, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Got him swinging. Strike 3.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Wednesday. Sunny with a gentle breeze at 11 miles per hour coming out of the south-southwest and temps near 84. Tonight we will have partly cloudy skies and a wind speed of 8 miles per hour and be warm at 79. Partly cloudy and possible thunderstorms tomorrow and a high 83. Sunshine Friday with a temp of 88. Saturday the high will reach 86 with sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
WGSX Lynn Haven WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show and 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Time. Roll. Alabama Update is brought to you by the one and only Stevenson Air Conditioning. You want to have a cool, comfortable summer, and you better be with Stevenson Air Conditioning.
Don't forget the whole western part of the United States is under a heat advisory, hottest temperatures for this time of year on record. And, it's coming this way, so you better get that done. Call Stevenson now.
Stevenson Air Conditioning.
It's coming.
Number one.
It's coming.
Not even close. I mean, anytime, day or night, you give them a call. What I loved, my buddy told me, he said, you know what? I heard your commercial, and I called him. The day I got a response, he had called another company, and he said, hey, I'm having trouble. It's working, but not like it needs to. I need you guys over here. No call back. It was 6 days before he got a return call. Not a return visit, a return call. He said, heck with it. He happened to be listening that day. He heard Stevenson Air Conditioning. He said, I heard you talk about it. I called them late that afternoon. They were there the next morning. He said they were there. They were friendly. They came in. They fixed the problem. He goes, I'll be with them from now on. You can tell them I said that. Stevenson Air Conditioning. I love them people. Right. So whoever went to Mr. Cobb's house did a great job because you were impressed and you got a customer for life now. The same way. The first time I used Jason with Stevenson Air Conditioning, I was set with them for good. I mean, that's a good man, honest man, hard worker, local guy, taking care of locals in Northwest Florida. Stevenson Air Conditioning, anytime, day or night. Get it serviced twice a year. Right before summer, right before winter. I haven't done mine yet, and I got to get it done. I got to call them. All right, Glenn, let's talk about Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama just lands one of their first quarterback commitments under DeBoer in the DeBoer era. We're talking about the top 100 players in the country. Keon Russell, I believe is his name, from Duncanville High School in Texas. Kid's out of the great state of Texas. He was committed for a long time to SMU. SMU's got big-time money. Big-time money at SMU. First school to ever get the death penalty.
That's true.
Matter of fact, Glenn, they got enough money to join the ACC and not even get paid a TV revenue because they wanted to be in there. They really have a lot of money at that school.
They do.
A lot of big, wealthy alumni there. So he visited. He was impressed with the University of Alabama. Of course, he doesn't know Alabama football. He talked about he was impressed what Coach had done with his previous quarterbacks. The one they got from Indiana. What's his name? He was at Washington last year. I forgot his name. When I went right out of that little mind I've got. But anyway, he liked the way he developed him. He could throw. He can run. This guy's a good athlete. Supposed to be an unbelievable football player. Got to be one of the top 100 players. Now, he's supposed to visit Florida, Oregon. I don't know if he's going to continue to take those visits or not. I know he's committed to Alabama, so that's a good thing. If you're committed to Bama, don't go visit Florida. Don't go visit Oregon. Or he shouldn't have committed. That's just my opinion. He passed for 3,483 yards. He threw for 38 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions last year. And he also is a 74% passer percentage-wise from the great state of Texas. And we all know how high school football is in Texas. It's probably the best. That and Georgia's two best in the country. So congratulations, Coach DeBoer. Good job getting this commitment from this young man. Hope everything works out. ESPN computer models predict the SEC championship for 2024. The Georgia Bulldogs and Kirby Smart, 32.8% chance to be the SEC champions. The Texas Longhorns come in second, Glenn, 24.2% chance to be SEC champions. At number 3, Bama didn't drop to 2. They've dropped to number 3. And I will remind everybody out there, keep an eye on Ole Miss. Alabama chances to win the SEC, according to the ESPN computer models, 14.4% chance to win. What'd you think about that?
It's hard to judge right now until after you see them play. When you see them play a couple of games, and that's a different story.
You made a great point right there. It's hard to judge anybody. We know how much talent Ohio State has. We know how much talent Georgia has, Texas. We don't know the chemistry in the locker rooms. You won't know that for a while till they play these games.
Right.
In the old days, you could look at the recruiting service and see who had the rosters there. You knew it was easy. Alabama's got all these 5 stars. They're going to be pretty good, and they were. Florida State, you could tell with them. Now, They can transfer anytime they want. With NIL, locker room, the chemistry of a team, you just don't know. And it's harder now to make a bet or a pick in the future that these athletes than it's ever been.
That's true. Pretty soon it'll be they can transfer during the season.
I wouldn't doubt. Hey, during the week, it's just going to be tougher and tougher to predict the future. Once the season gets rolling, you get a better understanding of where they're at.
Yep.
Now, this is what came out with Big Brother, Little Brother. If you're a big brother, you're something good. If you're a little brother, not so much. Big Brother, Little Brother. Alabama, Auburn. Alabama, Big Brother. Auburn, Little Brother. I'll change it when we do the Auburn update. Michigan, Ohio State. Get this, Buckeye boys. Big Brother, Michigan. They beat your butt 3 years in a row. They just won the national championship. Little Brother, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Texas A&M. They're getting ready to get it back on this year. Cannot wait to watch this football game. Texas, Big Brother, Texas A&M, Little Brother. Woo.
I don't know about that one.
Texas passed them, man. When Texas was in the SEC, that's why they're upset.
They still got the same lineup, though, as last year?
Well, they're so upset because they were in the SEC and they were getting all the money. They were getting all the prestige. They were it. They were Johnny Football. They were it. Texas had fallen apart. The stadium, Glenn, 107,000, they're bigger than Texas. Everything was going better and bigger. And then we let them we let Texas in the SEC. They were PO'd. They were upset about it and still are. Texas already, without playing each other all these years, they say Texas is the big brother, A&M little. We will find out about that this year. Oklahoma State, no doubt. Big brother's Oklahoma. Auburn, Tennessee, Tennessee's biggest rival, no doubt. 17 straight years, Bama beat them. No, 16 straight years. Might have been 17. Saban only lost one time in 17 years. Bama, huge, big brother. Little, real tiny brother, Tennessee. Georgia, Florida. Guess who's a big brother? Georgia's a big brother over everybody right now. Georgia's big brother, Florida, very little brother. Clemson, South Carolina. Do we even need to discuss this?
No.
Dabo is the man. Big brother, Clemson. Oregon State. No competition. Oregon's the big brother. Do we even have to mention this one? Michigan and Michigan State. It's Michigan. Michigan's the big brother over Michigan State.
We got to be fair.
And they're bigger than Ohio State. Michigan is Michigan Eddie. Michigan is the big brother.
He's listening. He called earlier.
I sent him a message. Hope he got it.
Yeah,
I sent him a signal. So that's your big brother, little brother of college football.
What about Florida State?
Oh, come on. Who's the brother right now? Who's the big brother right now?
FSU.
Who's
your brother?
I tried to hold that. I try not to do that one because I got to stay in the middle on that one because we got so many on each side.
I don't.
I know you. And my other side lets me know that all the time. Anyway, Alabama baseball fell apart. Alabama softball. They had a good year. They did. They were a little bit down, and they fought back, did some good things, but just didn't have the year that they've had in the past. But they did a great year. I mean, they did. So
when you make it to the World Series, you did it.
I'll tell you what, Glenn, if you can make it to Charlie Corn Place, you've done a good thing.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you talk about those specials. You love them.
I do. I love special, but I also love the Heavenly Hash. So
talk about that. Some of that. So breakfast is good there.
Breakfast, anything, breakfast anytime, anything you want there.
You know what I usually get there? They're BLTs.
Yep.
I love the BLTs. They're outstanding.
But just the Heavenly Hash, everybody's been to Charlie Corn's, especially when it was on 23rd Street, Heavenly Hash, but now it's on 15th, and it's the same great people, same great quality.
Well, him and Linda's had a restaurant since 1986. They know what they're doing. It's the best country cooking you get anywhere. And they got daily specials. And you talking about, you wouldn't believe the amount of food. I sit there and watch Glenn eat all that food. I said, no way he'll get it all. He did.
Yep.
You pick out whatever meat you want, 3 sides for $11.20. You can't beat that, man. You wouldn't believe the amount of food you get. Everywhere else, prices have gone crazy, and they've cut back the amount of food they give you. I've noticed that in a lot of different places. They have specials on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday night, the fried fried fish are grilled. And then on Saturday's got the fried shrimp or grilled. And then Sunday, the big one. I love fried chicken, mashed potatoes, green beans, cream corn, rolling tea. You can't beat it, man. Charlie Corn Place on 15th Street and up in 231. And they got that back room if you want to have a birthday party for your friends.
That's right.
J. Michael's Restaurant. Today is the day, world famous J. Michael's Spaghetti. It will be packed out lunch and dinner because everybody's going to that spaghetti. It's that good. He only does it once a week. But if you want that seafood, they got it there, baby. They got the best seafood you'll get. They got the ice cold beer, crystal beer. It's unbelievable. Check it out. You'll love it. I've had all the brand I've talked to have a draft beer there. The best they've ever had. That's at J. Michael's. Also, don't forget they have steaks. They got burgers. They got it all. The legendary J. Michael's Restaurant. South Oak Tottenham closing. Again, Chuck Tucker cannot say enough great things about him. His daddy was a great principal at Mosley, raised a great son. He starts a company and knocks it out of the ballpark. They're everywhere now. South Oak Tottenham closing. No surprises for all your real estate closing. Make sure you do what Mark Cowart does, Beth Movey. Big time realtors, they all use South Oak Tottenham closing. Make sure you do. Also, Dr. Chad Mitchell. This will be his 25th year on Bay County Sideline, the legendary Chad Mitchell. If you get any type of injury, go see Chad, make an appointment, and you can listen to Chad Mitchell every Monday right here on Northwest Florida, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back with Glenn Manley, FSU, Auburn, and then at 8:30, what you've been waiting for, Mark McLeod, Gator.
America's team plays here.
And a rocket to right field. This thing is into orbit.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Acuna, Ozzie, and Austin Riley lead the Braves' high-powered offense.
Swung on, belted, deep right field. Get out of here, Ozzie. Home run. Ball game.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida is sponsored by Brock's Pest Control. Store more portable buildings, reliable hydraulic solutions. Billburn Kia and Mid-South Lumber.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Wednesday. Sunny with a gentle breeze at 11 miles per hour coming out of the south-southwest and temps near 84. Tonight we will have partly cloudy skies and a wind speed of 8 miles per hour and be warm at 79. Partly cloudy and possible thunderstorms tomorrow and a high 83. Sunshine Friday with a temp of 88. Saturday the high will reach 86 with sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Discover the most convenient way to buy men's clothing. Pierce Bespoke. Whether it's custom or casual, they come to you to take the hassle out of shopping. If buying off the rack doesn't work for you, let Pierce Bespoke show you how to get the perfect fit. Call Pierce Bespoke to schedule your appointment. 251-278-8270. That's 251-278-8270.
And here we go. The #1 SEC call-in show is now twice as big. The Paul Feinbaum Show. Weekday evening 6 to 10. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eagle, hey! Martha Kinney, James Guama, and the beautiful Jenna. Jenna's got a grandchild now, and up in Atlanta, she's in hog heaven. Once you have them grandbabies, there ain't nothing like it. Finally, yesterday, I got to hold and play with my grandson. I hadn't been around him much, and really enjoyed that. Of course, my baby girls were there. Had a little birthday cake for Julie yesterday. We're going to do something else for her later on.
Happy birthday, Julie.
Well, it's not today. We had to do it early because we're not going to be here on her day. So we went to girls and the grandkids come over. But I might have a surprise party for her. She's probably listening.
Yeah, don't tell her.
Yeah, I don't think I will. Anyway, we got to do Auburn. We got to do Alabama. We got to do Auburn and FSU because we got Mark Cloud 8:30. And I want to thank Beef O'Brays and Pat Perno. Pat Perno is the best city commissioner anywhere, especially of Lynn Haven, because that's where he is, the city commissioner.
Pretty darn good
restaurant owner.
Yeah,
too. He's just
absolutely.
That place is fun. That place is fun.
Yeah, it really is. You go in there, Glenn. We went in there.
Plenty of parking.
We go in there Friday. Yeah, I think it was last Friday we went in there.
Thanks for asking.
Well, I did ask Tommy, so I didn't ask you guys. I couldn't afford all of you at once. But anyway, we went in there, and I asked him before. He said no. It kind of made me mad. He wouldn't come to J. Michaels, so I just, you know what? Anyway, we went out there, and the people are so friendly. There are TVs everywhere. It's packed out. So we got in there a little bit later. We had to sit way back in the back, but guess what was on that huge TV? Florida State was playing baseball.
There you go.
And Jeremy was texting us during the game, telling us everything was going on. He was at the game. He went and watched FSU, and he watched Alabama later. Him and his dad went over there, Jeremy Prison.
Kind of watched Alabama.
But I got there, chef, the salad, and I usually get a small dinner salad. This time I got the big one. It was incredible. Really good. And I got extra honey mustard, which is
of
not
course
good.
you did.
But it was outstanding. Julie got, I forget what she got. It's fish and chips. Her and Tommy got that, so I ate some of theirs. The food's incredible. The atmosphere is second to none. Pat does such a wonderful job.
Who paid is what I want to know.
I paid for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I did.
Listen,
you know how I take care of
Yeah, you do, yeah. So
as far as you know.
When he leaves, you go, well, I didn't buy this.
Yeah.
No.
That's why I took Julie.
Well, I want to know.
And then from there, we went down to David Adamson Jewelry, and Tommy went with us down there. They knew Tommy. He spent some stuff.
When you go in there and spend what he spends.
Yeah.
But he, it's a great place to go. I enjoyed when I was in there, too.
And you enjoy beef for braised in Lynn Haven. So if you're over in Lynn Haven today, get out there today. Today, only on today, they got a special on Wednesday. 10 wings and a side for $9.99. You cannot beat that. Go check it out. You'll have a great time.
Let me ask you this question. Is Julie listening? Because you told me that last night when they lit the candles, the fire alarm came on. Is that true?
Ooh. I did not say that, Julie. That's from Glenn Manley.
I don't care how old she is. Julie's a hot one.
She is, but I'm just saying, when he came in and said, man, the fire alarm went off last night.
Well, I mean, you got to be.
That's because she's a hot woman.
There you go. Okay.
But look at, when you see a good-looking man, what do you see with him? You don't see but he's not hot.
There is an exception to this rule. I just
every once in a while you will see.
He's got some money hit, or he's fooled her into thinking that he's got
all the above. I got all the above, baby. Anyway, real quick on Auburn, they did the toughest schedules in college football, and Auburn's football schedule ranked 5th in the nation as the toughest in college football. Hugh Freeze's second years will be a lot better, and we know that. They got better ball players. But the bottom line, the schedule's tougher than it was last year. And everybody in the SEC is tough, but I do think Auburn's going to have a good year. But anyway, Auburn is 5th in the nation in toughest schedule. They also came out with the best chances for the teams to make the college football playoffs. They dropped it off. Anybody below 24% chance to make the top 12. Kansas was the last one there. Auburn wasn't even mentioned. So we will see. We will see what kind of year he has. Who knows? Maybe they'll shock the world and make college playoffs. I'm not sure. Glenn, what do you have for us on FSU?
Well, before we start on the baseball team, I want to make sure that...
She's listening.
I just want to know, Kaylee Harding, who played softball for FSU, she is signed with a pro team, the Athletics Unlimited.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and they will be starting their practice season starts June the 10th and goes through the 25th. That'll be played somewhere out there in Kansas. And but anyway, she got to sign with them, and so I'm glad to see that the softball players get to move up too. So that's fantastic for them. So let's get that out of the way. Now, baseball, if you haven't been listening, you know that on Friday it'll be on ESPN. Starts at noon Eastern, so it'll be 11. They will post. Number 8, Florida State will host UConn out of the Big East. They're the Big East champs. And they've actually played once before in 1957 World Series. They played, and it was an elimination game, and UConn won 5-3. And in 2010, FSU was the number 1 ranked seed going to the Norwich Regional, and they were hosted by UConn, but they didn't play because both of them lost out before they had a chance to play. So that's the last time. And then right now, UConn is batting .274 as a team. Their on base percentage is .374. Their slugging percentage is .466. They've hit 111 doubles, 83 home runs. Their pitchers
83 home runs.
83 home runs. Their pitchers as a 4.8 ERA, and they're batting .258 against opposing pitchers. They're giving up .258 against people batting against them. This is the 18th time that FSU has, been advanced to the Super Regionals. That's the most right now, anybody. They first time they will host since 2018, excuse me, it'll be the first time they host Super Regional. So looking forward to that. Like we said, FSU's record right now is 45-15, and UConn is 35-24. So that'll be 2 games, hopefully just 2 games, Friday and Saturday. 12 o'clock and then at 11 o'clock. Both of those are on ESPN. So good, congratulations to them, and good luck to see those 2 guys get going. And we have one fan that I know of that's in the UConn territory. That's AD from Bayhigh, Jamie Bukowski, is a UConn fan. I told him their last game of the year will be visiting Tallytown. So
there you go.
He just gave me the sign. So I don't know. We'll see what goes on with that. But anyway, it's going to be a great game. Hopefully they do the same thing that Doc predicted and go take 2 and go on. So
I think they will.
There could be a lot of ACC and SEC teams in this. So we'll see. Yeah. So I tell you what, though, Tennessee and FSU and North Carolina, Virginia, and actually Kentucky, they're all hitting the ball quite well. I mean, last time I was watching the game the other day when they were playing, UCF, the last game, it was 2-0. It was 2-0. It was 2-0. Then it was 4-2. Then it got to be 12-4, and then it was over. So and I've never seen so many home runs hit. I was watching all the games I could watch this past weekend, and man, I tell you what, they can launch them with those metal bats. I tell you, some of those guys hit it.
Wouldn't it be something though if Florida State goes out there and wins it all?
It would be. It'd be.
I mean,
fantastic.
It was so bad last year. I was giving Bill and Greg a hard time about their complaints. Why aren't y'all still complaining? And heck, I think they knew what they were talking about.
Well, Coach Derek came on and said when he first got there, they had to go to recruiting, had to do all this, and they had to actually you just take what's there, and then he got heavy in the portal. When they found out what they needed, then they got back, and did some things. So, congratulations to them. They got some guys that really want to win.
And we're big. We'll tell you when we're wrong, and we apologize to Greg Bernicki and Bill Allen. You guys, you were correct. You knocked out of the ballpark. Everything you said was right.
What do you mean?
We were wrong.
What do you mean, us? Wrong, Ranger?
I was wrong. I was wrong. Lynn was on board with you guys.
That's right. So, but anyway, we're looking forward to that. It's going to be some great games this weekend, and we'll know by Monday who's going to be out there. So it'll be great things to be out there, All
right, I'm going to talk about FSU. For college football, ESPN, the power rankings and stuff like that, they came up with the toughest schedule in college football. The 19 toughest schedules in college football. Guess who was not on the list of having a toughest schedule? FSU. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Michigan's schedule last year was not tough. Georgia's schedule last year was not tough. Let's look at the teams with the best chance of making the playoffs, okay? Florida State did make this list. They only won 13 games last year, and they didn't get selected to come in. Okay, this year, there's 12 teams. You would think they have a better opportunity to get in. Georgia has the highest percentage of winning to making the playoffs. Their rate is 79.1%. Oregon is number 2. Why does Oregon get all this love, man? Oregon, more than Ohio State, 76% chance to make the playoffs. Texas Longhorns, 67.8%. The Ohio State Buckeyes, 67.2% to make the playoffs. Then it's not Alabama, it's Notre Dame, your favorite team, Glenn. I guess the name alone gets you in. 59.1% to get in. They're tied with Penn State and James Franklin, 59.1%. Then it's the Alabama Crimson Tide, 57.2% to make the playoffs. So that's your top 7 teams right there. Then it's kind of surprising. The next team that has the best odds to making the playoffs this year, and I looked at their schedule, I like it. I like their chances. Missouri, 37.3. It drops from 57 to 37.3. And then right after that, I think they're going to be good, a lot better, but I'm not sure. Tennessee, 36.9. I got a feeling Tennessee's going to be good. And then after that is Oklahoma, 36.6. So they're right there. And then, let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At number 11, Florida State, 35.9% chance to make the playoffs. And at number 12, you have the 12 best teams, would be Michigan, 28.5. And 3 teams outside looking in, Clemson, 26.9, LSU, 25.8, and Kansas at 24%. So, Glenn, and you know what? I wish they did it this way, the best 12 teams, but let's say you have a bad year in the Pac-12. Everybody beats everybody up. Schedule's not as difficult as the SEC, ACC, or Big Ten. But they get in. They got a team that lost 3 teams. Houston shocks the world, and they win the last game, and they get in. They're 9-3. They get a bye. You could have a 11-2 Florida State team be having to play and not get a bye because they didn't win the conference, and Clemson did.
Right.
Yep. So I don't like it. I think it should not have anything. It should be the 12 best teams. That's just my opinion. But FSU would be right now the 11th best team getting in. What you think about this? I mean, it's way too early. I know that, but this is the computers.
I think they got a better chance than they've been given right there.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. They play. They got Clemson on the schedule. They're going to play them. That'll solve that one. They probably have to play them twice, honestly. They've got Miami, and I keep hearing now, like we always do this time of year, Miami's going to be a lot better. Till they do it, improve it, we just don't know. We'll see. Wildcat, we got to go. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. I want to thank Newbies for the FSU update. I want to thank Beefo Brady's and Lindhaven for the Auburn update. Get out to Newbies, have a great time. 3 great locations. Newbie 2 to go watch all sporting events. Sean, Charlotte, love you guys. Get down to Newbies, the mothership. Charlotte's going to have the best bands all summer long for your entertainment. Go check it out. Go support them. They're always giving back to the community. We'll be right back. What you've been waiting on. Mark McLeod, all about the Florida Gators. We'll be right back.
It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
Attention homeowners, are you dreaming of a backyard oasis? Look no further than S&R Fencing, your go-to destination for quality outdoor transformations. At S&R, they specialize in crafting custom fences, decks, retainer walls, and all exterior construction that not only enhances the beauty of your home, but also stands the test of time. Their experienced team takes pride in delivering top-notch craftsmanship with a personal touch. S&R Fencing, locally owned, licensed, and insured, and a member of the BBB.
It's the Dolly Southern Sweets Collection, available now only at Krispy Kreme Donuts. Sink your teeth into the chocolate cream pie, or how about the Southern favorite banana pudding pie? Or the Southern sweet peachy king cobbler. Last but not least, try the Dolly Dazzler and wash it all down with the Peachy Keen Lemonade Chiller. All delicious and available only at Krispy Kreme Donuts. In front of HCA Hospital on 23rd Street in Panama City and on the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan.
He doesn't always go the extra mile. But when he does, it's because he missed the exit. It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local inside the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
When you got 90,000 people all chomping at the same time.
It's the Florida Gator Update with guest Mark McLeod. Insider information you can't get anywhere else. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Go Gators! If you're not a Gator, you're a Gator hater. Are you a Gator hater?
No.
Be honest. Tell it like it
I'm
is.
Gator bait, maybe.
You Gator bait, yeah. Can they still do that cheer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's going to stop him?
We got him. We got
run down on the field and grab the guy.
I was worried. We got him, man. We got what you've been waiting for it, and we got it for you right now. The man, the myth, the local boy that went away and did really well, Mark McLeod. Mark, how you doing, sir?
Hey, doing well. Good morning, Coach. Good to be on with you.
What did you say to the Florida Gator baseball team? I heard you were the guest speaker, and ever since you talked to them, things have gone a different direction.
I would have loved to have been the guest speaker, because if I would, I'd have a gig now for like 2 years, wouldn't I?
Unbelievable. Talk about because it was like, man, they're dead, they're gone, we can forget about them, and now it's like, who knows? I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Ole Miss do it, we've seen Virginia do it. We talked about that. I think the best thing for Florida was to escape the noise. The best thing that happened for the Gators was that they were sent to Stillwater, Oklahoma. Get out. Don't go to Tallahassee. Don't go to maybe one of the other southern cities where there's still a lot of talk about Florida, a lot of focus. People know about the Gators. Go to Stillwater, Oklahoma, where nobody's talking about you, really. They're talking about Oklahoma State. And maybe Nebraska, But I think it was the perfect formula for the Gators to get this done. Kevin O'Sullivan's approach is just like all the other coaches. Look, guys, the season is what it is. It's behind us. We had a lot of good. We had a lot of bad, a lot of things that need correcting. It's time to put that behind you, step up, and it's a new lease on life. Go do it. Go do it. And that's exactly what they did. And I think the two things that really happened, guys, is number one, you saw exactly what we on your show have talked about for a long time when we've talked college baseball through the years. You got to have the other guys step up. You have to have guys that maybe haven't been a focus point during the season or gotten a lot of reps during the season step up and be that guy. Ashton Wilson was that guy. Ty Evans goes out with an injury, lost for the season with a broken wrist. They also lost Yost, their outfielder, to a torn ACL. It was a guy that kind of reserved. He played a little bit here and there. And Ashton Wilson comes in and not only gets it done, but walks away hitting .429 and wins the Most Outstanding Player Award for the tournament. The other thing that we talked about ad nauseum this season has been the midweek pitching. They couldn't get some of these freshmen to step up and do what they needed to do. But here you have redshirt freshman Jay Clemente come in and give the Gators a big start. It's only his second start of the season. You had freshman reliever Frank Menendez come in and do some wonderful things. Fisher Jameson, who was a junior, came in and did some really nice work. So they got some of the pieces that have been struggles all year long for this team to come together and make it happen in Stillwater. And now the big question is, can they go to Clemson to do it again?
And we asked Dr. Ward this earlier today, and he coached baseball. I'm going to ask you, to me, I see it in football, being at home is big-time advantage. Basketball, big time. You can see the wins and losses. In baseball, Florida just did it. They went to Oklahoma State, I thought their facility looked really pretty on TV, Oklahoma State's baseball stadium. But they got it done on the road there. Is it that huge of an advantage playing at home? What do you think, Mark, as far as the other sports? Is just like the other sports, is it big to play at home?
I think it can be. I think it is in places like LSU, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, maybe South Carolina. Some of these places that have huge ballparks. I think Florida State, with the animals that they have out in the right field. I think that's fabulous. Great environments for college baseball, and they really can help push you through. But Florida's still trying to develop that. I think the new stadium at Florida helps and has helped them. Clemson will be an interesting take because, look, I mean, Kevin O'Sullivan coached there. Remember, for many years. You go back to 2015 when Jack Leggett retired, was shown the door, whatever you want to call it. The talk was Kevin O'Sullivan or Tim Corbin from Vanderbilt, both who were assistants under Leggett. But even when Eric Bakich was hired 2 years ago, there was some talk about Kevin O'Sullivan, and he shut it down both times. He said, no, I'm at Florida. I'm where I need to be. But Bakich was a volunteer assistant coach under Leggett when Kevin O'Sullivan and Tim Corbin were there. So these guys all know each other. I think it makes for a very interesting super regional, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. You sent me the stuff, and I saw that Clemson's favored 69.2% to beat Florida. What's it going to take for Florida to score one more run? That's what Glenn always says when I ask him these tough questions. But what's it going to take for Florida to get it done at Clemson?
I think the formula is much the same of what just happened. You have to have – Florida has struggled not only in the midweek games, but Florida had struggled on those Friday night games. You go back the last 7 weeks of the regular season, guys, the game one of a 3-game series, Florida lost it. And they lost in large part due to pitching. Liam Peterson has really come on. He's a freshman from Palm Harbor, 6'5", but he struggled through the year. He's only 2-4 with a 5.83 ERA during the regular season. That kid pitched his butt off in Stillwater. He pitched very well. Yeah. And then, you back that up with Jack Caglione, who did not pitch well out there. I mean, he did some nice things pitching, but, boy, he gave up the long ball in that last outing. So, those are going to be your top two guys. I think you've got to get it from there. Florida plays 5 guys on the all-tournament team in Stillwater, and it was a nice mixture of young guys like Ashton Wilson and Colby Shelton, who were just sophomores. And then you had Caglione, Dale Thomas, who's a senior at third base, Brandon Neely, who pitched really well for the Gators out there, who's a junior. And I think they're going to need that. They're going to need all hands on deck, and that's exactly what you need to get it done. And really, I think it's ultra important that you win game one.
I want to go this through kind of quickly, but I want your intake on this. Tennessee, 83%. Tennessee goes on, correct? No problem. Tennessee gets it done.
So, yeah.
Florida State, UConn, no problem. Florida State.
Florida State.
All right, Virginia, Kansas State at Virginia. Virginia.
Ooh, yeah, I'll go Virginia. The ACC really performed well in the postseason.
Yes, they did.
Give me Virginia.
All right, West Virginia at North Carolina. Man, what about at North Carolina, LSU? That was unbelievable. What do you think, North Carolina?
Yeah, the way North Carolina battled back and hung in there and took out LSU, because LSU was really the most dangerous team in the country coming into the tournament, who was an underdog.
Right. All right, Oregon State, they're good. At Kentucky. I got Kentucky. What do you think? That's going to be a good one. That's
going to be tough. That is really going to be tough for the Wildcats to win. And but they've got one heck of a baseball team. So I don't know. You could toss a coin on that one because Oregon State they're good. Really, you go back the last 10, 15 years, they have been legendary.
Yeah. And that is at Kentucky. All right, NC State at Georgia. What do you think about this one?
That's going to be another barn burner right there. For me, honestly, it's a toss of the coin. I think NC State can go in there and win that, but Georgia has been good too. Conrad wants to know when's the last time Florida beat Georgia. Just kidding. No. Just kidding. I'm just messing with you. All right.
Yeah, I think your ad nauseum should be ad infinitum myself. Yeah.
Thank you, Glenn. All right, Florida at Clemson. Who gets it done? Does the Gator do it? Or is it going to be Clemson?
I think if we see the Florida team that was very resilient, even after losing that game, battling back through the losers bracket, doing what they do, I think Florida does have a chance to beat Clemson. Yeah. I mean, obviously the odds are that Clemson's going to win it, but this is where we've been talking about for weeks now, guys, that Florida could very well be, and probably is, one of the most dangerous teams who really underperformed this season in the NCAA tournament.
And think about Florida. They've been there. They've done it. They finished second in the country last year in baseball. Yeah. Watch out, man. Florida might get it done. All right, Oregon Let me get to Oregon at Texas.
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M, sorry. Texas A&M.
Yeah. A&M looks good. That ballpark is really becoming difficult to play in. Bluebell's beautiful park. And give me the Aggies.
Yeah, we were talking a minute ago about Texas and Texas A&M, how the SEC, little brother, big brother, and for the last 12 years, it's really been Texas A&M because look at the facilities, look at the money. Being the SEC, they had passed Texas. Texas was struggling, but they did the survey, and they say now that Texas is back in, Texas is the big brother. And that just goes to show you why A&M did not want the Longhorns in the SEC. Right. And real quick, because we got to take a break, do you Florida Gators want to open your arms up and say, FSU, come on in?
Hey, Scott Strickland said yes. He said yes. And by the way, Wildcat, you need to play Friends in Low Places when it comes out. If we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about softball,
right.
Brett Yormark has got to be killing himself right now.
That was good. That was really, I love that. Hey, record that part what he just said. We need to use that. I like that. All right, let's take a break. We got Mark McLeod. We get back. We got to ask him about softball, man.
Yeah.
I was watching the game. It just got away from him, man.
I was actually pulling for Florida, if you can believe that.
Yeah, I don't. Anyway, let's talk about some of our great people. Don't forget, today is Wednesday. That means it's Jay Michaels, World Famous Spaghetti. It's also Beefro Brody's special day, Wednesday, Lynn Haven. 10 wings aside for $9.99. You want your yard to look beautiful? Pat can make that happen. Call Turf Pro Pest Control. Your yard will be beautiful. David Adams, I love Russ. I love David. They do a great job. I bought Julia a bracelet for her birthday, and they did a wonderful job. Get down there and check them out. They give deals, too, now. They do a great job. Go check it out. Also, if you don't have CETO, you don't go. CETO or we don't go. Why would anybody get out into a boat, I don't care what size, get out in the Gulf of Mexico and something could happen? Anything.
Anything could happen.
Anything. If Quinn would have had CETO, that great white shark, they would have never known about Jaws. We'd have never known about that movie.
And all you got to do is go to CETO.com, or you can call them locally. Call Brandon and ask for
bigger boat.
Several plans for you to choose from. 850-234-2323, CETO.com.
He would have never had to said, we need a bigger boat. He wouldn't need it. Call CETO. They've been out there. The shark wouldn't have had anything to eat. We'll be right back with Mark McLeod, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, available on all your devices.
Connected.
Hear your favorite sports talk hosts.
On the Coach James Hale Show. You're listening to The Inside Drive live.
The afternoon underdog.
And your favorite teams.
Braves winning!
We're live on the app. Tune in, Alexa, ESPNPC.com, Facebook, YouTube, and in your car at 101.9 and 104.3. Wherever you go, there we are. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Wednesday. Sunny with a gentle breeze at 11 miles per hour coming out of the south-southwest and temps near 84. Tonight we will have partly cloudy skies and a wind speed of 8 miles per hour and be warm at 79. Partly cloudy and possible thunderstorms tomorrow and a high 83. Sunshine Friday with a temp of 88. Saturday the high will reach 86 with sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you feeling tired, weak, or maybe you feel old and cranky? If so, I have the answer. It's Max Fit Sports Nutrition with 2 locations, 23rd Street in the Coronado Plaza and in Pier Park North on Back Beach Road. Max Fit Sports Nutrition has nutritional products and professional dietary plans to get you moving in the right direction. So get off that couch and get to Max Fit Sports Nutrition now. Max Fit Sports Nutrition, where you can try it before you buy it.
Your safety and proper care of your boat in an emergency is crucial. When it comes to on-water assistance, response time is everything. And since 1996, in the Bay or on the Gulf, it's CETO. CETO's Coast Guard licensed captains are on the scene in an average of 1 hour or less. CETO gets members home or back to boating faster. Become a member today at CETO.com or call 850-234-2323.
Now,
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Go nuts.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
I got friends in low places where the whiskey brown and the beer.
That's from Mark McLeod right here.
Is that dedicated to us?
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Hey,
All right,
I had a friend of mine who, Jack Creel, who owned a bar called Low Places.
We had a place in Hattiesburg called the End Zone. Anyway, we got Mark McLeod with us. All you want to know about the Florida Gators, the great one, Mark. Hey, the softball game, I told Glenn, I said, I was watching, you can just kind of feel it coming. You know, I had a gut feeling it's not going to work out. It's not going to happen today. Mm-hmm. And then the 8th inning, she crushed the ball, 6-5, Florida loses. But talk about the softball program. What a great year. They almost did it. They had a great year. Nothing but positive things about the Florida Gator-based softball team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 54 and 15, 17 and 7 in the conference. And remember, guys, in the SEC preseason poll, they were picked 7th. So What a year they had. And look, next year, they've got 12 members from that team returning. The key loss for them is going to be shortstop Skylar Wallace, who, of course, was the 2023 SEC Player of the Year and one of the 3 finalists for the overall National Player of the Year. She won by a couple publications did have her the National Player of the Year in 2023, and this year she was a 2024 All-American. So, you know, that is the real key loss for Florida. They lose outfielder Katie Kistler as well, but outside of that, everybody's back, and they've got a good recruiting class coming in. So Tim Walton should be happy. But, you know, it's been an interesting run here, hasn't it? The Gators have played 7 Big 12 teams in their last 8 games. The only other team they played was Alabama. So, and look, you talk about friends in low places. How would any of you guys like to be Brett Yormark, the commissioner of the Big 12, for the championship series when you walk in and, man, this is great. I've got 2 of my teams, Texas and Oklahoma. They're playing for it all. Oh, yeah, they're leaving yesterday. There's a plane circling the stadium.
SEC.
Welcome to
SEC. remember, I don't know if you remember this, when Texas won the Big 12 championship, he was given the trophy, and their players, everybody started chanting SEC, SEC.
That's right.
That's a great point, man. My God. Hey, Mark, you talking about what Florida's got coming back, but look at the SEC softball next year, Oklahoma, Texas.
Wow.
Golly. Baseball. Look at baseball, basketball, football. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
It is insane. And, you know, it's interesting because I've talked to 3 different people from Austin and Dallas over the past 2 weeks and had conversations with them about, and you know, there are some people there who they're old school. They don't want to see the move. They don't want to see it happen. But there are other people out there, the younger people, and, you know, the avid Texas people are like, wow, this is going to be fun. This is going to be great, you know. I can't say I've spoken to anybody from Oklahoma yet, but from the Texas perspective, I think the old school guys really don't want to see this happen. They want to stay on, you know, stay kind of where they are and you know, keep those local rivalries going. But the younger people are excited about, just like we are, going, my goodness, look at the strength of this conference. And if we see some more expansion, and we very well may by the end of the summer or early fall, this could be even more interesting if the SEC were to add 4 more teams.
Yeah, I'm with you. At first, when all this stuff started happening, I was like, man, I don't know if I like this or not. And then now I'm on board with it. And the Oklahoma people are pumped up about it. I think just looking at websites, I don't know the age of people that say these things, but I think they're pumped up about it. I really do. Mark, I want to go this real quick. You look at the college football's toughest schedule. Everybody has Florida. This is another one. ESPN Power schedule, whatever. Florida Gators in the toughest schedule in college football. And I'm going to go the top 6, okay? Number 1, Florida, okay? Number 2, Mississippi State. Number 3, Georgia. Number 4, Kentucky. Number 5, Auburn. Number 6, Alabama. Well, I'll keep going. Number 7, Oklahoma. Number 8, Tennessee. Number 9 is a different conference, Georgia Tech. The top 8 toughest conference, all from the SEC. That's incredible.
It is, yeah, the FPI. And 4 of the schools you just named in that top 8, Florida plays. The other school is Florida. So it's tough. But didn't they have Florida ranked in the top 20 in the FPI?
Yeah, they did have top 25, I think, or something like that. Yeah, they did. That got my attention when I saw that. Hey, they talked to Spurrier. They know what's going on. I think we're going to have a shockaroo in Gainesville. Things are going to be better than what people think. Now, Mark, you go over here and look at the best odds coming out of Vegas to make the playoffs. Out of those 6 teams we mentioned, the top 6 teams we mentioned, only 2 of them are on the list. Now, what's incredible, Georgia has the 3rd toughest schedule in all of college football, and they have the best odds of anybody in college football to make the playoffs at 79.1. Mississippi State, you can't find them on the chances to make the playoffs. Florida Gators, they're not on the list to even make a chance to make the playoffs. Kentucky, not on the list. Auburn, not on the list. The other team that is on the list, but they're way out there, is Alabama. They're ranked like 7th. The best opportunities to make the playoffs. It's 57.2% to make it. So scheduling is important. Florida State, toughest schedule, not even listed. They got their schedules ranked pretty easy. But Florida State is like the 11th best opportunity to make the college playoff. You only got 12 teams, and they're at 35.9. Scheduling is important. Strength of schedule, they say, is important. I don't believe it. I looked at these weaker conferences that make the playoffs over the years past, the Cincinnati's, the TCU's. Breaking news, Georgia just scored again. I just wish we were going to do the 12 best teams regardless of conference, but they're not. I do believe, Mark, we're 2 years away from the Super League. I really believe that. I think it's going to happen.
I think it's got to happen. The pay-for-play is in. One way or another, they're going to iron all that out. Of course, NIL is not going away. They can say what they want. I've read stuff that pay-for-play is going to take the place of NIL. No, it's not. NIL is still going to have a role in that. And now we see the ridiculous thing happen with the FHSAA saying, oh, yeah, we're going to bring in NIL for high school football, too. But you look at Florida and you look at that situation, Cole Kebelik, you're seeing some of the other guys who've been around practices. They've been over to Gainesville to talk to Billy Napier and see what's going on, and they're all going, hey, there's something to what's going on here at Florida. I think they're going to be – nobody's saying they're going to make the playoffs. Nobody's saying they're going to challenge Georgia for the Eastern – well, there is no Eastern Division title. Look at me. That's how old I am. But you look at where Florida is, they're not ready to challenge Georgia yet, or Alabama or anybody else for the title. But what some are saying, not everybody, what some of these guys are saying is, hey, I think things are going to be a little bit better than people think they are because that roster is better, and it's all about recruiting. That's why Georgia is light years ahead of people because they have
roster. Yeah.
They have killed it in recruiting over the past however many years.
We got 30 seconds. What 4 teams do they bring in the SEC, in your opinion?
I'll give you the ones I would love to see them bring in. North Carolina,
number 1.
Virginia,
yes.
I don't think they're going to do it, but I would love to see them come in because of that tie.
I'm with you.
And that would complete the South. Florida State.
There you go.
And, that 4th one I've been back and forth on, and I really don't know who it should be, Coach. That's one I've danced around with.
I like states. Let's just do something.
I'll go Clemson.
Let's do something different. Let's bring in Notre Dame or Pitt. Let's do something different, man. Let's get another state. Let's get another state. Hey, have a great weekend. Ryan Mulvey's coming up. Love you, Mark. We'll talk to you next Wednesday.
Take care.
David, the Underdogs this afternoon. We're out. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the inside drive.
North Korea launched hundreds of balloons filled with poopy. Poopy is